Okay, I'll call to order the one half of the joint meeting of the County Commissioners and Council for June 17th, 6 p.m.
You want me to officially do anything?
Well, I mean, don't have a form, but Aaron and I had talked that we need to have a meeting to talk about this envoy contract, and the other two commissioners have decided not to join us, so we're still gonna have our meeting and have discussion with Aaron. Somebody make a comment? Where do you want to start?
I will just inform you all of what Colleen has been. I think you guys were informed that last Monday. Yes, this is Monday. Sorry. That envoy is still billing us, even though to my knowledge, they were told to quit. And that's where we stand. I have Ethan who's doing work for me personally on this matter, and he's informed me to tell you that as of May 2nd, the contract should be halted or canceled. I think canceled is more appropriate because you guys have stopped the funding. That's what I handed you all a court case, essentially, that the state decided that when you guys hold funding, the contract is done, period. It's canceled. And that's why I called the meeting, as well as other things, but I was hoping all three of us would be here, but that's not the case, so. And I've been only in for 2 weeks, so I'm finding this as I go. But we say, as of the 2nd of May, let me read my notes here, so we get all dates written down here. The contract with Envoy was back in March of 18. The agreement was, I'll start with December 11th. The agreement was made. The contract with Envoy was signed on the 18th of March. The 2nd of May is when you all voted to stop funding for the annex specifically. And then May 28th, after that vote was taken, the commissioners did meet with Envoy and tell them to proceed. And that's why we're here.
But did we tell them to proceed with the plans? Or do you think they meant the plans and construction?
Construction period. From my understanding,
That was your understanding.
my understanding is it's full swing. Yes, continue.
How do we know if it has anything been done since they've said at the end?
The construction, I forget Justin's title. Justin emailed us both saying, yes, work is still proceeding on. I think so bills are still coming in. We've asked for more of a breakdown on that, like what's happening. And then I'll be honest with you, I've stopped all communication with them because I honestly believe lawyers are going to get involved to get this to stop. So me personally being involved, direct connection, I need to go through whether it's Kent or Ethan myself. I've just stopped communicating until we have a group plan of what the plan of attack is from here on.
I would think since we voted on May 2nd to stop all funding on the project, that the envoy would say, we're done. Why would you keep working when you know you're not going to get paid?
I agree, but it's still happening. That's my concern, is that these monstrosities of bills are going to come in and we're going to be forced to continue to pay them so we do not have legal recourse in getting sued. And that's where my question to you as a council, where are we going to draw the line here? Because I don't know where that's at. Well, I know where my line is, but you guys are in charge of money. So
My line, I don't know about anybody else, but my line started on May 2nd. It ended on May 2nd.
Well, that's-
So
it was kind of my assumption.
7-0 vote.
So
Well, this is an attorney question, and Taylor, what do we need to do? Do we need to file an injunction against the commissioners? Has a letter been sent to Envoy notifying them of what?
No, not from yet. No, I think what we need to do, and last time we had talked, the, I'll call it a new issue, because it's, I guess, a thought I hadn't thought of, was the ARPA designation. That's one thing that I'm still looking into after we last talked. I will do what I can. I am not very loud. But what I'm still looking into is the ARPA designation. That's my current, we talked about the resolution, that the motion that was made at the end of December of last year. But what I need to look into is, again, the ARPA. I've got the agreement, the motion that we had made for that before I was involved, but got that last week from Colleen. So I just need to look at that and do a little more looking into ARPA to see if it got far enough along that now that's just $1 million set over to the annex, appropriated to it to use as they see fit, if that makes sense. So I believe you're within your bounds to pull back on the 1.6, but my concern becomes the ARPA money, and if that $1 million that was, and how far did that get, I guess is what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, I think if you look at the minutes, well, our discussion was on the $1 million we set aside of the American Rescue Plan money it was to go to the renovation of Maple Corner.
But I think we had to be in agreement on how it was to be spent.
Yes, the commissioners
Okay.
and the council have to agree, and the motion that was passed in December was that if the commissioners signed the contract with Envoy, the council wanted the only things approved and voted on by the council. That's been on minutes.
What were the minutes on that first one, the ARPA one? Do you remember what date it was? I've got this partial agreement on the plan. You remember when the minutes were?
Then that was.
Yeah, the plan is March of
No, not the $1 million.
21. Yeah, not the December of 23. This one.
This is in
March of 21. Yeah, the plan is from, it says March of 21, we got the ARPA, and then it's thereafter, this plan was put in place.
But Taylor, once before I got on in 23, they, Andrew was having work done there. And Colleen was paying that out of the ARPA fund.
I would say.
But council didn't vote on that. You just paid.
Yes, because I thought that's what I was supposed to do.
But that's what I think. They think that $1 million is for them to spend without council.
But we corrected that and you guys voted to pay it. And from that point on, it's been, I mean, it was very clear at that point.
I think what's happened is we had an idea in our minds what was going on, and the commissioners had their own ideas of what was going on, and we did not know that until we had our joint meeting a few weeks ago, and we were blindsided when we realized that they had done plans for all 3 floors. We were of the understanding it was going to be 1 floor. That's where the 1.6 was going to come in. We figured that was enough to cover the first floor because that's what we thought was going to be done. So we have a whole new set of plans. And based off those plans, we're now up to how many millions? 7.6
7.6.
million, somewhere in there, over 7. So this is where we find ourselves today.
And Brenda made a comment in this morning's meeting that I had said $1 million was the total cost for the renovation of Maple Corner. And she says $1 million was just for the 911 center. To hear correctly, because the sound system's not good on the YouTube, but I want for the record to put in here, this is the text from Andrew on November 8th, 2021. At 3:49 p.m. where the 911 and corner renovation was $200,000. Total investment $893,000. As Brenda keeps saying, I'm getting wrong figures, so I'm not that. Put in the record. And then I'd like to know, I have an email that Andrew sent on June 1st of 2022 with KJG Architectural. Complete drawings of Maple Corner. A contract that said it was going to be $8,500 to get everything done to be ready for construction. Was this paid? Did we pay KJG Architectural? I mean, there's 14 pages of drawings here in that building that Andrew had done, and why did they change?
What was the date on that?
June 1st, 2022. And then on April 6th, 2023, Andrew sent another email out, a contract with Taft, Stenius and Hollister LLP.
That was on the BOT agreement.
Okay. So
Is
bill
that the
operating
current
check.
BOT
Yeah.
or is that a different one?
Well,
How many bills are we gonna pay for Maple Corner before it'll stop?
That's the ones I was talking about, because I saw those two on that spreadsheet, and things. And that's what I was like, so my assumption was they thought they had that many dollars.
I guess that's why we're here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wasn't that our consultations? Colleen, the first bill that you paid was in that consultation
did we-
This,
for the annex, but is that it?
yeah, this
First,
is designed at Commissioner's Meeting Room, Coroner's Office, 911 Dispatch, Health Departments.
and more drawings was by Andrew because he didn't like the present drawings the way they were. They were trying to shift some rooms around. And therefore you got more architectural drawings and consultation. I said that this morning.
So did we pay?
Yes, we paid $8,500 for the.
We did, and then they dropped them.
Yeah.
And who was that?
KJG.
So we paid that and then the Commissioner just dropped it and went with Envoy.
Yeah.
I mean, these were good drawings, so.
I think they went with Envoy because Envoy could do everything, if I remember right.
Well, I mean, they were all ready to go to bid.
Yeah.
It's another 25 to 40,000 to put it out for construction bid.
Mm-hmm,
And Maresco, they joined them.
mm-hmm,
He's right after that.
mm-hmm.
And that's when we started moving some information. Why we didn't want to go that way.
So did we have a bill from Taft?
We have, you know,
And then we have Envoy, current. Amoresco. Current. Is there anybody else that we owe money to?
And let's talk about Amoresco, because when they were here a few years ago, we're gonna do this for free and just give you a plan. And now, since we're not gonna do it, it's charged. We have a signed contract,
I
Okay.
do.
okay? So,
By the way, this morning in the commission meeting, Tim said that Maresco did that without any fees,
exactly.
planning to get a contract. That was the statement this morning.
So now that we have said we're done,
They're gonna bill us.
They're gonna bill us.
$17,000.
yeah, we're gonna bill us $17,500.
Approved it. Especially if there's no contract. But
If there's one, I'm not aware of, I have to search.
But Taylor, we need to know what our next step is. What do we have to do to put a stop to Envoy and all these bills?
Yeah, at the very least, I can send them, potentially commission, send Envoy. Just in writing, that the council's determined there's no further appropriations, at least as it relates to the December 23 motion. But there's no additional appropriations that are going to be made, and I will continue to look into that ARPA question. I'll get the minutes from whatever that meeting would have been. I can look on that. Again, my only concern there is at what point are the funds considered appropriated? All I've got right now is this plan that shows $1 million to the annex. I know what I've heard from the council is that's just the plan. They still have to be appropriated toward the annex by both groups.
Mhm,
So I just need to make sure that I look into that for you.
That I think we need the letter immediately. Get this stopped. And then the attorney.
Yeah.
What steps is your attorney telling you?
Same thing. Write a letter, good stuff.
Good stuff, okay. Everybody in agreement with that? Get a letter? Stop it.
So that means the only thing we're in for is what was current and turned in be around June 2nd.
I don't see us getting out of the 140, I'm gonna say 144,000.
Yeah,
I don't see us getting out of it.
yeah.
I think we might be able to negotiate. Maybe get it down, but yes, we're on the hook for
I
some.
mean, they did the work and we've got the plans.
Yes,
Obviously, we got several set of plans.
Yes, and there's January comes, or does it sell, they corner those plans. Don't do the same thing.
No.
So,
No,
but if we vote not to pay this 143,000, I think we'd be in a better stance to negotiate.
correct. I would agree.
And that point of time.
I'm going back and I found some minutes from the commissioners dated April 17th, 2023. There was a vote that was done at that time, Maple Corner Annex BOT agreement. The commissioners would like to partner with Cameron Starnes of TAP, Steadiness and Hollister to oversee the BOT process. The fees will not exceed 25,000. So what happened with that?
That's what I heard about, that was Andrew sent to us on April 6th.
And we have not paid that much money.
No, it was billed at $210 per hour. Oh, it says will not exceed 25,000. So it's that too.
And they motioned it through 3-0. So the 144,000, that's Envoy and Amoresco together?
That's just on point.
And the rest of us all today were 17,000.
Do we have any invoice from them? Do we have any invoice from them?
Yes.
I have that.
And once I sent it. It's that way, here it is. They're asking for 10,000 on this invoice, the other 7,500 will be in the contract with Envoy.
Okay, so on the Envoy, do we have a detailed date of work performed for Envoy?
Project development agreement fees.
So we don't know if this is the deadline of May 2nd. Of course, they can make it whatever they want, as long as they can get their money. I'm talking about Envoy, because I think we asked for specific date to see if they, okay.
Email with,
Nothing.
and we haven't heard anything.
okay.
I think-
Like I said, it doesn't matter because they can make that date whatever they want.
So it's this says, this bills for 10,000, it says 7,500 are included in the contract with them. So, this is fees associated with the facility condition assessment for the courthouse. But when Mark Airbrand was here and addressed the council, it was, we're gonna just do this for you. They did community checks for the murals and did all kinds of checks. So this is just a service we're gonna provide. And if there's something comes down the road, we'd like to be considered.
Mhm.
Yeah, now,
You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
now, Bill. So we send a letter, wait to see what the come back with, but
I believe that's the
need to let
plan.
them know we're
Yeah.
not paying any bill.
Yeah. I would like to send a letter through Ken as well, but I'm not going to get that done. Let's be honest. With Ken, that letter is not coming from commissioners, so it has to come from you guys. It's,
Also about 143,000. We decided not to pay that.
I don't think we can get around that. It's
Let
more.
me ask you something. We pretty much said that in May 2nd,
Mhm,
you're not gonna fund it.
mhm.
So therefore it's 143,000. We're not gonna pay some of these other bills, why would we entertain paying 143,000? If it has, let's find out before we make that decision. I want to find out why we have.
And a breakdown.
And a break.
Yeah, I agree,
We
yeah,
already voted not to pay it, so I
Right.
don't think we do anything yet.
until we
Well,
get
don't take
that,
Another vote yet.
yeah, no.
It's our only bargaining tool we have right now to
Mhm.
get it to stop. We're just throwing more
All we
money
have,
at
all we
Yeah.
have
Back
to go-
Good money after bad.
Mhm.
Mhm.
all we have to go somewhere in a handout, there were fees, what they were gonna charge per hour. What about in this courthouse, whatever. I don't have that with me, but I did, but there's a fee, and it was outrageous. Consultations cost us a lot, and we didn't get anything for the work.
And we're on the third company now that we're paying.
I know KJG and their contract had a fee schedule.
Yes.
And we've already voted once, 7-up. Right?
Yes.
We're down.
I will open up if anyone has wants to make any public comment about what we've discussed so far on the annex.
Those plans you have, is that just the one floor?
On the KJG, yes,
No, I think there's a drawing for the basement, but nothing. about the
nothing,
elevator
no, and I think they did it just for storage.
For storage, yeah.
Is there a law or a, quite not the right word? We're getting money, government money, correct? And if that money has to be spent in a particular way, I was thinking that, when you remodel or when you redone a building for government purposes, it had to be the complete building. Is that correct? Does anybody know that?
I think we couldn't use the American Rescue Plan to buy the building, but it could be used to remodel. But we could also use other funds if there wasn't one enough funds.
But does that include, okay, there's basement, first floor, and then evidently second floor,
Or-
does that include? Does their funds include all three?
Well, there's only
Is it
about,
required, in other words, is it required?
well, their quote is almost $8 million to redo all 3 floors of the corner. American Rescue Plan, there's only a little over $1 million that we have left, and there's no more money. It has to be appropriate, it has to be budgeted by the end of this year, and we have until 25 or 26. But we can't change our mind after December 31st where it's going, so. This project's gonna get stopped. But we have to be in agreement with the commissioners to use that money for something else. By December 31st.
And the cost of Maple Corner, when the gentlemen were here a meeting or two ago,
they had a square footage formula. And based upon the square footage of Maple Corner, they thought the cost would be on the high end, 7.6 million. And on the low end, it was 6.8, but it wasn't based upon actual dollars or specific site plans for Maple Corner. That was just a general square footage number off of, I think maybe their website or something like that. So there's no actual number yet, other than the range from estimated specific cost.
Did we answer your question?
Yeah, I said, I'm assuming then that the one project was at six, whatever, six. It can't be back down to one floor. Is there enough room? Is what I'm getting at.
Well, I think when the original thought was that the first floor would be enough room, because they were thinking of 911. They were thinking of, the corner. Potentially the health department. And the conference room. So that would have been plenty of room to put those departments together. Somehow or another, they decided that that wasn't gonna be, and they changed it, and that then forced them to do all 3 floors. Now, here's my personal feeling on it. My personal feeling is that they stated that their roof was leaking. We have found out the roof is not leaking. They said that there's no warranty left. There's warranty left until 2031. We had Century Roofing come and do an inspection of this roof. Jeff and I were there, Aaron was there, and so was Rick Beck and the gentleman from Century. He looked over the entire roof and said there is nothing wrong with this roof, and your warranty is good until 2031. But, and however, the stack was leaking, so now we have someone coming to take the stack down, cap it off, put a flue pipe in. That should be taken care of. I think their idea was to make this courthouse appear that it was in dire straits. So therefore, they could renovate the annex, all 3 floors, move everybody out of here to the annex, or those that would fit, and renovate this entire courthouse to the tune of how many millions? $14 million. So now in 2 buildings, we would be up to almost 20 million. Now, in no way, shape, or form am I disparaging them. I'm just stating what I personally see. Our thought was, and we said that we felt it was important for the county highway department to have a building that would be better for their health. We expressed that thought to the commissioners. We were of the understanding that we were doing only 1 floor of the annex, and we were okay with that. That's where the $1.6 million was going to come in to help take care of that. So here we find ourselves today, and we've got to find out a solution, and a solution with the commissioners. Unfortunately, they are not here this evening. I was told today that they were going to be on vacation. I don't know. I'm not traveling with them, so I can't tell you that. So my question, Taylor, is we need more definitive answers on what exactly was done to create this $144,000 bill. Are we probably going to be liable for that? More than likely. Lesson learned. That was an expensive lesson, but lesson learned, because it's not just the $8,500, the up to $2,500, the $17,500 for the Rescue, the $144,000, but we also have a master plan that we paid for. We also have plans that we paid for the community room in the basement. That didn't get done. And so where do we go from here?
But you guys have all the contracts that the commissioners have signed, or previous commissioners have signed, or supposedly signed. You guys have official, those, I do material time for residential, and I think my contracts are pretty thorough, and my clients understand every day, or my every day is long. If you guys can get your hands on those, I would have a lot of friends working commercial, and there's usually loopholes in there. like for mine, if the project doesn't go forward, the mine only pays for what's been done up to that point.
Exactly.
And I don't know if you, and so part two of that question is, if we don't have them, or we're not getting honest answers or factual questions, can our attorneys do their job and file? Because as far as I'm concerned, every council member has the right to see those contracts. You should have already, but unfortunately you guys weren't privy to those.
No,
That sounds like, so is there a way that we can, if we don't have all of them, is there a way our attorneys can legally seek those out, so we actually have, so we're not getting to the correct answers you guys can find the fact one?
I think Colleen is in conversations with both Aaron and Taylor Powell, our attorney. So I think they'll be able to hopefully figure it out. Yeah. And we're not trying to step on the toes of the commissioners because they have their role, we have our role. But it makes our role difficult to do when we don't have all the information. So,
Well, the problem was the original representation by the commissioners to the council. It was gonna cost so much money to purchase Maple Corner. And as I recall, it's gonna cost $750,000. Is that the figure that you recall to renovate?
yeah.
890.
800 to 900?
Yeah,
If,
right.
if we were told it was gonna cost 7.2, why, we wouldn't the hell, sure as hell would have bought.
No, and I mean, we all know there's been inflation. I mean, come on, we understand that, but not $6 million.
Kelly,
Yes.
I know it's just an opinion question, but will the courthouse accommodate what we need if it's all fixed? Or do we have to have some sort of annex built?
Well, our ultimate goal is to get 911 out of this courthouse. This is really not conducive to what they should be in. And so we would like, that was the whole reason, the big reason why we purchased the annex was to get them out and get them into a facility because it's got to be, and correct me if I'm wrong, FEMA approved? Yeah, does it have to be FEMA approved? Yes. So there's guidelines that we have to follow for their building. So
How many square feet is that? I mean,
We're also already
Maple
leasing.
Corner is a huge, I was wondering if it requires that much space or if it's smaller, something.
right. So Dana, how many terminals do you have? How many stations? Two state.
Can't be fitted, like, building was starting with this, fitted for 4.
Okay.
Actually, we have 3, but the third one is now.
So let's just say 3. Let's say 3. I know one's down, but eventually you're gonna be up and running. So they have to have that. They have to have a small kitchenette. They have to have a quiet room.
Don't even have a bathroom.
Yeah, they don't have a bathroom.
Yeah, have you even asked how many square feet you would need in the building?
I've got it in here.
I think it's required by state, isn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't the state require,
Yes.
so there is, I mean,
Yes,
yes. But the original was, we were gonna build a building down on the old jail.
Plan for 2023. I've got it. Got it. I'm working on
Well, I mean, what is the
Okay,
corner
so-
of 15,000?
Well,
20.
see,
20,000.
yeah, emergency management and 911 brought in plans at budget time to build a building down there for a little over $2 million that would house 911, emergency management and the coroner. We really need a coroner's office because now we've had a lot of autopsies done and the other count, there's only 2 or 3, 4 counties that you can have that done and they charge us a fortune to do that and we can. So we were building plans for that and it was, I thought it was 2.1, Brenda says it's 2.4, or somewhere in there, but the commissioner said that was too much money. They didn't want to put that money into it and talked us into Maple Corner because that would be a bargain at 800,000 to 900,000. So
So now.
they
I
have
guess
the
the
final
question is,
say. on-
where do you cut your losses?
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
No, you're right. You're right.
I mean, you're 200 grand in consulting fees.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm not saying proceed, I mean, does anyone know how much it would cost to tear down Maple Corner and build?
1,792 square feet.
How much are we paying for, given the health department?
What's that?
The health department lease, what do we pay them?
I used to know, but I can't remember. 10,000.
somewhere around $10,000 is what the rent is. You know,
That's per year, isn't it? Or
per
month?
year,
Yeah, per year.
per year, not per month.
KW,
Here's a. We all know that contractor is tired. They do 911, EMS, or EMA. Owners on this. We have somebody, but, who joined the top 141, on one property, right? After this, under the garage, they're half this section off. Our wall, section off. It's your new, our roll basis.
That's what- we mentioned that.
And that can be done.
Mhm.
That could,
6 million, $7 million. That's taken.
Rent.
No. Till the month we get the building. And you still don't get it.
We are working on that, right?
Yep, yep.
okay,
That's what we're.
so if we put 911 at county highway garage, we can only use county general funds. If we put 911 in coroner's office out at the jail building, we can use the special lit fund,
Mhm.
which it is collecting $2.4 million a year, and our bond payments are a little over 1 million. So we could use that money, not have to raise any taxes, do anything, if we built 911 in the coroner's office out of the jail. And that's what we've discussed, commissioners are not
It's-
hearing it at all.
And sell the annex.
And then use maybe the 1 million from the American Rescue Plan, put towards the county highway garage, and then we'll have to use some county general fund, which we've got, I won't say a healthy balance, but we've had to cut into it a lot this year, but, we still have money there that could be done for that, but I don't think 911 corner will want that at the county highway. But we could do it at the jail.
Yeah, yeah, we could put it out there by the jail. Mhm.
And but make the corner up for sale, that's what I sell. But
Yeah, because Brad Crane said he would like to have a restaurant back in there.
I have to find me
We can sell it.
well,
That's right.
I think the health.
we can't.
Health
Commissioners, I want
rents
to
a lot
sell
more
it.
than.
Yeah, he really got that
Yeah.
covered.
So I say that isn't gonna change till January. It's the first time we can.
One guy back there knows.
Do you have anything else, KW? Okay, but it's, I mean, that's.
You were thinking like we were.
The way we are, that we need to do that, and the rent. Sorry, the rent is $18,960 a year that we're paying for
18,000.
Per year.
per year.
So how do you communicate with the commissioners what you would be willing to approve?
Well, we did that at a joint meeting. And it- They, after we even told Envoy we weren't paying for anything, they still went ahead. 2 of them, not Eric, but told them to continue doing the work they're doing.
I think the point in having Envoy that night, from my perspective, was to at least say from, I can't think of his name,
Conley, Michael.
Michael Conley, at least say to us what,
Oh, boy, I got
in
it.
his opinion, we need to do here at the courthouse. I could care less right at that point about the internet. But the courthouse,
Mhm.
just to give us an idea of what we might be needing to look at, folks. It's 1936 courthouse, and we went out there. It's,
Right outside the courtroom looks
yeah, I mean.
pretty bad.
But they told us the roof's bad, it's gotta be replaced.
Right.
Or they, I mean,
But when you had, Dudley, when you had a prosecutor down there in a basement, no privacy. And you have
Yes.
upstairs the same thing with court, we need to do
Gotta
something
do
about
something.
that.
Mhm.
It's bush league. It's not,
Yeah.
it's not right. That's where I'm strong
Mhm.
for, working on the courthouse. That just needs to be fixed. And those people came in at budget time and made their case that they needed some stuff done.
Mhm.
So
And some,
I just think,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ball on the courthouse.
Yeah.
you're exactly right, and we've given some office holders money to. Emergency management, she got money and redid her offices, and it's
Yeah.
in great shape, but then the commissioner said, no, we don't want office holders to do that, well, and. So
Well, Jeff, I made a comment to you before I was in any official capacity. I jokingly said, are we gonna tear this place down? And you laughed and said no, and I said, then fix it. Okay, and we just fixed the chimney for 15,000, what we voted on this morning. 4 years ago, the quote was 25,000. I magically got it done for $10,000 less. No patting my back, I'm just saying, we have some guy local doing it, and we're getting it done. It's that simple. The roof's fine, so let's move on.
Yeah, but I think we
Yeah.
need to keep.
Oh, I agree,
Keep
I agree
going on it,
100%.
yeah.
let's
The-
do another more
this-
at a time.
But when you see,
That's what I'm
when you
thinking.
see murals starting to peel, then you're gonna get people's opinion.
Hackles up.
Well, what was the term we used? Not hillbilly, what did we say? And it needs to look nice in here. I don't think anyone will argue that we need to look like we know what we're doing, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Mhm.
Painting falling off the walls, water coming through the lights. We look a little amateurish at what we're doing, and that doesn't look good for any of us, which I think all of us would agree, and that's where I would agree, look, fix what needs to be fixed.
Amber,
Can I jump on your side here a minute?
yes,
You wanna jump on my side?
I wanna jump on your side for a minute, Jeff.
It's not about me.
hold on, just a
The
second.
lady here wants to talk about, the descendant of person.
Yes.
Did anybody
Granddaughter.
look into,
The
Yes, it's Winnie Clark's, her estate, her mother is one of the ladies that did the original painting, and yes, her father, I believe, was the architect of this building. And there is some money if we need to do any restoration in there, in her estate.
okay.
So
Good
I
enough.
did follow up, and that's.
Okay.
That's where the money is, and but there's no, they don't want to do anything until
So,
they knew the roof was not leaking, get the chimney fixed, and then I think we could apply for.
But that, I just wanted to explain why he came, just so he could explain what things look like as a whole.
Mhm.
And I like what Dale always said, we're here to solve problems. And, that's, I think he puts it right on the money, and, but we need to keep our eye on the ball on this building. for sure.
Mhm.
The problem is we only have one set of elected officials. The problem is we only have one set of officials who are solution seekers. That appears to be the council right now. So, we can talk about all we want to do if we don't have cooperation from the commissioners and. Whatever.
that's my microphone.
Or something I wrote on my hand that is I put conference room because of this.
Yes.
Yes.
So we need to investigate that some because this is for, it's through reports.
See. When Colleen goes out, we'll tear that wall down.
We're not gonna let it.
Kim's going, wait a minute.
It's like, oh, hey.
I mean, that was part of the. Also moving out to Maple Corner, have a big conference room, and we could accommodate everybody, but.
I've said for the last probably 3 months to one of the commissioners that we should be using Maple Corner. It doesn't have to look glamorous, as long as we've got a great sound system and we've got a camera. God forbid, hopefully not this one. Let's use it. You know, we're only gonna be in there, what, 3 Mondays a month, but I say use it.
Which is something you guys.
Yeah.
Does everything work out there, like the bathroom and the air conditioner and the pipe?
I think so. Everything's been fixed out there.
I'm not sure there makes me work because they had a job fair. One very pretty. One very cool.
Just one thing I want to add
We got
is,
that AC down.
this meeting only got scheduled, I think, on Friday.
Well, last Monday in our council meeting, we scheduled it.
Well, it was,
Emails.
the council wanted to meet, but the commissioners, I don't think, didn't learn about the opportunity until.
We talked Tuesday, I believe.
I guess my point is, I would just like all of us to try to go the extra mile to find the right times to meet so that everybody can be in the room at the same time. We've wasted dozens, if not hundreds of hours of conversation that we would have been better served, all of our citizens, if we would have had all the decision makers in the room at the same time. So I know it's easy to point fingers and do blaming when people aren't in the room, judge others, make negative comments about their behavior or about their conduct. I think that's just not above reproach like we should be in our decision making. So I'm just willing to do my part in terms of going the extra mile to make sure that if a meeting is called, as much as possible, a good faith effort is made, that all the decision makers can be in the room. And I know you're not going to have 100% all the time, but and that's my point. You don't know which ones of us had to rearrange things for, I'm not discounting what you're saying. You're making my point, is that we all need to go the extra mile, not just some of us, but even if we're in the room, we need to make sure we go the extra mile. That's all.
I want to jump on Jeff's here, on this.
You're not gonna get too loud, are
No, I will not. But the courthouse is not okay. But it needs to be worked on. And it's gonna take some money. So I don't see a reason why, but let's do a good job with the garage. Okay?
Yeah.
And we all want to put it out there, but let's make sure we do a good job. And let's don't put up a penny type of building just to satisfy a situation. That's all I'm saying. The next thing, I think while we're building that garage, we could tear down this stack for $15,000. Why can't we do a little bit of time here? Watch what we're doing, health-wise, asbestos, or whatever it might be, that's what we're hearing. They were gonna build another building beside the annex to do something else. That was on top of the millions of dollars. So you see why we drug the street and we didn't, who asked for a contract back then? I never saw. Nobody came to the council, hey, you know, we're thinking about this. We would like to have their blessing. Can we do this for the people of Fountain County and not kill them on taxes? That's what everybody's asking. Do we have the money? Billy just said, you know, we're paying off a jail. We just raised the salaries of people so they can provide for their families. For the ambulance, for the highway, for our police department. Can you imagine going without one of those guys? You understand that every time a police car goes out, I'm not gonna get loud yet. That we need another one, that there's a problem, you know? You ride with those guys. Their life, I don't have to tell you, look at the TV in Indianapolis. You see anything good every morning, turn the TV on, somebody got killed. I don't want Fountain County to look that way, do you? I want some protection, so while we're sleeping, these guys are out busting their tail. We raise the salary. Keep it simple. Let's do one thing at a time, do it right. Let's get on this courthouse, but I don't wanna wait 2 years down the line, Jeff. If we got to, do you, Jim? I'd like to get some of it started.
We're. Commissioners. It's on the commissioners. We sit here and talk about this all night long. It's on the commissioners.
Well, we drug our feet for about 3 or 4 years with the commission.
Yeah.
We didn't know a thing about it. You know, anyway,
I mean,
that's where I am. I hope we can do something, get together and make it work. I really do.
I do wanna add on the is it 18,000 for the, to bring the roof or the chimney down?
15.
15,000, okay. If the council is okay with that, we have building fund money under the council budget, so we don't have to advertise and do additionals. Is everybody okay?
I'll make a motion, but we don't need a motion if it's already in the budget, right?
Well, let's just.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we use that.
I'll
fund.
say,
Okay, all
Jim, aye.
Jim. So that we don't have to advertise for additional, we'll just pay it out of the council budget. That will take care of that, and then what about cameras?
Rick said they'd be here Wednesday, $400.
Only 400.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay. Then, is there?
I make a motion to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Council.
Yep.
Second.
Okay, so Ellington, all those there.
Aye,
Okay.
get that done.
Going down to the dance there.
Yeah, yeah.
And, got
Yep, they're gonna scope everything, so.
Did anybody else have any public comment on the next one?
Let's see.
Is there a plan for the courthouse in phases of doing things a little at a time, or is that not one of the plans that's been seen for?
It hasn't been looked at to do it that way yet.
No,
It's, what I'm hearing, it's general consensus. From what I'm hearing tonight, that would be the most favorable opinion of how to spend the money, if that's true.
I think
The
so.
recommendation from the contractors is that you shut the place down because of the risk of lead paint, asbestos, everything else that's going on. You don't have to shuffle people in and out. You may have days or weeks where work can't be done because you're doing all that. So at least that was the recommendation from, I think, the contractors to mothball it, so to speak. And I think that's why part of the thought was remodel Maple Corner for $1 million. And then do this, and then move everyone back here who is going to be here, then keep the others at Maple Corner that were going to be there.
No comment.
I have a question.
Yes.
So your job is to approve the money and advise the commissioners on what you want. The commissioners are supposed to listen. However, it's apparent that they've kind of gone rogue and are doing their own thing. So we appear to be at two sides butting heads. And we're getting nowhere, except that we're throwing money in the air in every direction. And it's not their money, it's our money out of our tax, out of our pockets.
Mhm.
So how do we communicate and get two sides to come together and agree to something when nobody wants to agree if they can't have their own way? We're not in the sandbox with a bunch of 2-year-olds in the room. We are adults. And it seems to be whoever can scream the loudest and the longest and call the most names is the winner. And that's certainly not us at this point.
You're exactly right. I mean, we had a joint meeting and we said we were not going to fund Envoy, and all three, no.
Yeah,
Weren't here.
yeah,
Two-
that's what we didn't have it.
Right, but we had Tim and Brenda were both here and they heard.
And I was there, and a lot of these people were there.
And
And
yeah, then after that meeting, Aaron finds out they've told Envoy to continue working.
And then we're told that nobody comes to the meetings so they can do what they want, yet when we all show up, there's no place for half of us to go. So eventually, those that are stuck out there quit coming because they can't hear, they can't see, they're wasting their time. So somebody needs to force these meetings over the Maple Corner, or upstairs in a courtroom or somewhere where everybody feels like they've been seen and heard. Because this, you're talking about looking like Mickey Mouse, this is it.
Mhm.
And I'm fine with going out, having council meetings out at Maple Corner. Provided our cameras can be set up and we have speakers, because in that big room, are you gonna be able to hear everybody? That I know people out there can't hear us, so,
The courtroom is,
22.
but the courtroom is open. We can go there.
But there again, we have to have a camera,
Camera, and we have.
microphones, yeah.
I thought she had a microphone system. In the courtroom, you know, got the cameras. I think, did they improve the microphone?
You know if these speakers are working, they are not.
Can we order these speakers?
It's right there.
Are the speakers set up?
Well, I'm not.
One up there. But what's picking it up?
I'm not fixing it.
Is that a microphone in the cameras? That's a.
No, yeah, it's for the
For the
recording.
Brad,
For the recording.
what we have, we need something set up better.
Wasn't Envoy at that point, connection or anything, where you guys said that
Yeah.
you weren't gonna think?
Yes.
So they already have notification that they're done, so I'm really confused on why they're still working too. I mean, even the commissioners open, shouldn't they realize that? I mean, they were there at the meeting. They were saying,
They absolutely did, and you would think if they know there's gonna be at least two new commissioners. There will be two new commissioners in January. You would think if they wanted any chance of doing any business in this county, they would listen to what we have to say, but.
I don't think, I mean, this is my opinion, I don't think you're gonna pay anything after that date. Like, I think that even if it comes to a lawsuit or whatever, I mean, maybe it can be put on the commissioners.
Yes.
I mean, they're the ones that, they have to be accountable to something that they're doing. Cause it's ridiculous.
Yeah, they're not transparent, but you guys are. You sit here and talk to us, we know what's going on. They're not transparent with you or any of us. That's not supposed to work.
That's exactly the way it's supposed to work. We're all supposed to be working together.
No, but the reason why I don't run that microphone, because we not had this. In the years that I've been on the council, we haven't had this. That's right.
Mm-mm.
And the reason is because people didn't realize they needed to pay attention.
You know,
All of a sudden, you know, like people are, I mean, we have to come and basically babysit Tim and Brenda, right? So I don't think anyone really want to be here babysitting Tim and Brenda. But we're here because we have to be there. And if we can get stuff, we can get ourselves back between everyone and the people, then I don't think you're gonna have this huge crowd. I mean,
I think they would. Yeah, because you guys are so transparent. And it's actually a joy to come listen to this. Where it's not so much of the commissioners.
I mean, I'm saying, not saying you shouldn't come. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I
that-
mean, that's great that people are participating in their government. It's
Right.
everyone's government.
Well, and you guys are understanding how it all works. You know, you understand that we only have so many funds that we have control over, and that some of the other funds that they're dictated how we can use it. And so you're understanding that process, which helps us out too, because then we don't have to try and explain it to you. Well, we can't do, well, why can't we do that? Well, we can't do that because of this, this, and this. So you've heard us talk about what we're doing up here. And so now you better understand how it all works.
Honestly, I thought, because I haven't been involved. So I thought everybody was bad people. I'm sorry. But I thought all of this was the bad, the wrong, going against, you know, us poor people. out
Well, I
there.
can't speak on everybody else, but you know.
I mean, it's how good people you are, you're so involved the right way. I don't see how the council got so bad, if we've got such a good. You guys are so different, you know, I mean, the commissioners, I don't see how it got so bad. With you guys all being so for this community,
Mhm.
it's so good for.
Man. I want to tell you something that I think we're great in Fountain County. We're doing a lot that people don't know about. You know, right back there sits a lady in our 911 system. You know what we've just done? Would you like, Doug, you can tell how much money we spent in a system called Caliber and what that's supposed to do? Would you like to tell them what the Caliber system is supposed to do?
So we have had, their color CAD system, I have the administrator. I'm the one director about North County inspection. We have worked with a CAD system that has had a lot of voids in it. We've not been able to, our officers are safe, our fire is safe, our EMS is safe, but we've had to work to diligent and harder to make them and make sure that they're safe. We've had upgrades that have needed to be done in order to do our job correctly and to do our job easier. We've had a lot of stuff that we've had to, you know, poke and bring over and hit the escape and do all that stuff. So the new Caliber system is simpler. It is better for all the other entities that we serve. We serve 2 counties. We're the only one in Indiana that serves 2 counties. That's with the fire, ambulance, and police. We're able to run things a lot easier, a lot quicker. Our officers out there on the road are a lot safer. We've got in-plan place that's called CAD to CAD, where if another county has that CAD system and they pull somebody over and our officers pull somebody over, they can see that. So we're working well and we're working better with other counties that have this as well. It's just safer, it's easier. Yes, it does cost a little bit more money than what we're used to. The upgrades are great. The response that we get from the Caliber team is amazing versus the other CAD that we have. We have to wait 3 days, 3 hours. Sometimes there was a couple months that I have to wait when I first got into this job to get help from that CAD system. This one, they're on it within 3 to 5 minutes. And depending on the severity of what we've got. They're really great. They helped us. We just learned it. So we're also learning, but it's running smoothly and we're just appreciative of everything that you guys have done.
There's one thing you didn't mention, state to state,
CAD to CAD, yes.
state to state, CAD to CAD.
Yes.
You
Like
know,
somebody in Kentucky has this Caliber system, we haven't. I'll tell you the story. So there was an officer that pulled over this car, they had PC, which is probable cause to pull it over. So what they did was they let it go because they couldn't find anything. So up here in Indiana on 63, we had one pulled over. They've seen that they had it over there. They got in contact. What was the PC? They found it. There was a lot of drugs in the car and they stopped that from coming in here. So they can talk back and forth, even if it's in Kentucky or Maine or wherever it's at. It's awesome. It's a very good communicating system. And that's what we're for, is to communicate with.
That's how I want my tax dollars spent, to take care of them and all of us.
So then that brings the air ambulance.
there you go.
One thing that the council agreed was that we were going to provide this service to all of the residents of Fountain County. We funded that not using taxpayer dollars. It was money that came into the county riverboat, am I correct? Riverboat money. We pay $48,000 and it gives you a trip to the hospital on stat flight, which is the blue or yellow helicopter, for nothing.
Cards from the table.
Yeah, cards are on the table, brochures are on the table. Garth, who is our ambulance director, told me this morning they had 4 flights this weekend. 2 were stat flight and unfortunately 2 were not. So if it's not, then it's not covered, but just knowing that you have that ability to have that ambulance, air ambulance service available to you in a severe emergency, I think is a wonderful thing for everybody. So, and it's contiguous counties. So if you happen to be in Warren County and something happens over there, you're covered. You know, if you're in Tippecanoe County, you're covered. Park County.
More than national. too.
And you can pay additional funds to have nationally, that national service. So if you're on vacation somewhere and you have a massive heart attack and you need to get somewhere very quickly, you have that ability on staff flight. Yes, Tina.
Okay, when I was looking at Jill, way back about that, you do not have to carry that card.
And yes, it goes by your address.
Some people worry about that, so it goes by your address, it's like you didn't have to, it's kind of like the good RX card. You either carry it or you tell your pharmacist.
Right.
That is how it is.
Any more public comment on vacant lot? Okay.
Sorry, there was mentioned this morning that there was some sort of plan provided to you all that would supposedly outline how the fund. If I'm understanding correctly, the annex, the highway department and the courthouse renovations, is
Jason.
that true?
Yes,
That's
there
correct.
was a financial plan.
What is your opinion on it?
Well, it raises your taxes,
Property taxes and income
and
taxes,
yes,
Mhm.
both.
both
And we
pieces
all
to
said,
be able to pay for this.
right, we are not going to raise property taxes or raise certain income tax. Especially right now, with, we've got the jail paid for and other things. And Down Central School District property taxes went up 25% for their school. Next year, Attica's probably gonna go up 25% for their school. For building programs, we just can't, the people right now can't, way costs are, they can't afford to have your taxes raised. And it would be a big increase to pay for $14 million building project here, $8 million make the corner and.
And it was a plan of options.
Yeah,
It wasn't requirements, it was options. These,
Right,
in their plan, it was options. It didn't tell us what to do, just you could pick item A, item C, D, E, but it wasn't a prescribed plan that this is what you have to do. Like, this is your menu of all the options.
they cannot, because the council is the fiscal body, we set the tax rate. Okay, so they cannot do that. And that plan also kind of gave us a financial picture of where we're heading 10 years down the road. To know what kind of money we can look at for these projects, because, you know, our population decreasing, so our money coming in is going to be decreasing. And that kind of gave us a financial picture to look at.
Aaron, have you seen that? Has anyone given you that? plan?
No, I have not seen it.
That'd be good.
Natalie, can we, for future meetings, because it looks like to me that we need to have these kind of meetings. People be showing up, which I'm glad they are. But can we, do something about our sound system, or think really clearly, we got a month? Where we would like to meet, or maybe increase our sound system some way. If it's a courthouse, if it's a courtroom, or the annex, whatever, can we start looking at that? That whole thing?
We'll have some more. Colleen check with Brad, what.
They could have heard you this morning.
They could have, yeah, his is the only speech I heard, I could understand on you.
I know, they're picking on me. I did something right for once. They're very tough.
But, you'll check with Brad to see what. If we get
That's that kinky voice.
And that's
That's right.
the annex.
We are meeting with the, yes, that's.
Well, okay, and we can, I mean. Of course, we don't do as much, we don't have as much authority on contracts and things like the commissioners do, but in August, when we have our budget hearings, we have. One meeting that's of a morning, and then we have 2 night meetings. At budget time in August and September.
About same meeting.
Brad's on there, he said he was doing.
It's for budget.
with different departments at each meeting.
Yeah,
So we have, every department will come in and present what money they want for next year. We do, As part of it for, yes, you know, that we will have 2 of those meetings in, we've got the dates set already, but Colleen will post that.
You know, just once a month.
So August 20th at 6 p.m. will be a council meeting for budgets and any other business that we have.
Right.
And September 17th will be at 6 p.m. We'll still have our second Monday of the month morning meeting in August and September, but we will have 2 night meetings in August and September for budget hearings.
The commissioners don't like to meet in the evening time. And if
I would
they-
like to.
This is like the solar panel that they have, you've seen how many people do, they don't like that, but that's what they need to hear, they need to hear what the people think.
Right, and that's why the last joint meeting, we had it at night, and when Aaron and I talked about having this joint meeting, I said, let's have it at night so that people can come. So, and you said Brad said he could go look into it, so, you know, we'll look at maybe moving our July meeting to Maple Corner, if we can get it set up so that everybody could hear. And I'm okay with the night meeting too.
I am too. And maybe we, at like once a quarter, you know,
Okay.
have like a town hall or something where we can let them know what's happening, you know.
So we leave our July, since it's advertised morning, because we're gonna meet in August and September night meetings. And then October, maybe November, we'll do a
Night
night
meeting.
meeting. Okay, so anybody else on, before we move on about Maple Cornerville? Okay, so plan commission, we were gonna discuss that, we talked, at last month's meeting, the commissioners asked for more money for consulting fees. We said, no, we want a list of, and I know you sent me like 10 emails and I read that's all, but
For those people who don't know, I represent the council on the Advisory Planning Commission. And we're talking about invoices from Roger for work he's done. And as a planning commission member, I haven't seen any of those invoices and don't know what he's worked on or what he's trying to build to the county.
and that's what we said that we would like to see as a list of all the consulting fees, what solar companies those consulting fees are for, and what we've been reimbursed from the
We gave him authority to consult with those companies. Where does authority come from? He didn't come to the planning commission to discuss it.
Yes, because there was Roger turned in a bill to the county for doing work for Sweet Pea.
Yeah,
The solar company, and as far as you know, they've never even applied for a permit, but yet we're paying a consulting fee. And they should have billed Roger correctly. They're not.
Well, there shouldn't be anything at all.
that's
Like
right.
there should be no,
That's.
shouldn't be any consulting fees.
So, yes, I mean,
Yeah.
they should be hiring their own attorney.
Exactly.
And
Doing that, so.
Colleen said that 15, but really it's 25. Is that what you told us? Couple-
I only advertised 15.
Yeah, I know,
But
but
Commissioner's wanted 25,
did he submit 25?
the commissioner
They
has
changed
requested
it.
25, but she advertised it as 15, so. But we're not gonna pay it until we know.
I think you're right, Tom. I think, didn't the commissioners approve that?
Yeah.
This morning?
I think they did.
Would you repeat that, Kim?
I think the commissioners approved that 15 this morning.
Oh, they approved it the month before.
That's
It was
right,
on our
that's
agenda
right,
At our
that's right.
meeting last week,
Mhm.
and we said,
Yep,
The 25,000 is a transfer,
that's it, yeah.
and then there was an additional request for 10,000 for share repair and maintenance.
I had
Yeah.
a question on that.
Okay.
Do we know what that repair and maintenance is?
It's
Can't
for
that come
vehicles.
from the,
It's not
oh,
for
it's
the vehicles
vehicles,
or anything like
okay.
that, it's just for vehicles.
I thought it was repairs
It's
on the jail,
repairs.
okay.
don't have that on my list, but you said you'd like for us to discuss that. Okay, so the masonry repair, we're gonna take out a council budget. Transfers, from jail sergeant to jail overtime. And commissioners voted on that this morning. Is there a motion to allow, and this is not an addition, this is a transfer from the jail sergeant salary to overtime, 25,000. There a motion for that?
I'll make it.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And then there's an additional request, sheriff, for $10,000 repair and maintenance due to vehicle repairs, right? And they've already spent their 2024 budget, so that can't come out of the lit fund, but
Okay.
um.
It can or it can't.
no, it cannot.
Yeah.
It's vehicle.
It's not for
Mhm,
jail.
That's right.
But we can pay that out of council. Right?
That's what I'm asking, if
Okay.
we advertising.
No, I don't. You know, that's why we put the money in the council budget, so we wouldn't have to pay for
Advertising.
advertising, so.
Mm.
So is there, what funds do we have? We have repair and maintenance or,
There's equipment and there's
okay.
a line item for other than.
Capital, okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it under equipment, so everyone, is there a motion to pay that 10,000 out of the council budget? Okay, Jim made the motion, you second.
Yes.
Denise made the second, it's not like she raised her hand first. All those in favor?
We need some game show buzzers.
I know.
Yeah, get a buzzer, see.
That's right.
Okay, well, that took care of that, so now, is there any public comment about the consulting fees for the planning commission? Okay, and also and I don't know, did you guys talk about the interlocal agreement with Warren County on the 911?
I talked to Tim this morning briefly, but nothing. And then as far as my conversations with Warren County, it's dead at the moment. I mean, I haven't got any responses, so I've talked to Dana. If she was involved in said discussion, and other than maybe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, maybe if two emails where she advised what was needed, and if I'm saying wrong, that is pretty much ignored.
Okay, so I have a question for Taylor. They did a 2-year agreement. The way I understand it, they did a 2-year interlocal agreement. Am I right in thinking that, Denise?
1 year at a time.
Tim Shoemaker said it was a 2-year agreement. I asked him that and
It's
they're,
a 1-year agreement, but the commissioners made a statement at their meeting that they only negotiate every 2 years.
yeah.
But it's 1 year.
So if they only negotiate every 2 years, could they do an addendum to that current interlocal agreement, or would they have to write a whole new one?
Commissioner's just policy that they're not only gonna renegotiate it every 2 years, or is it somewhere in there that's,
Yeah.
I have to.
Yeah, I'd have to see,
online, but
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it's just their policy that, hey, it's a year to year, we're gonna let it run for years, then we'll renegotiate again. Obviously, you can do anything you want on that, it's run.
I can get a copy, but that's not.
For the public that doesn't know what we're talking about, 911, we share with Warren County, okay? So, and in the past, until last year, the agreement was Warren County pays 1/3 of all 911 bills, Fountain County pays 2/3 of all 911 bills, except for equipment, and we share it 50/50. Last year, commissioners decided they didn't like that agreement, they wanted to just charge Warren County a flat fee. Well, we looked at that and we think we're losing $50,000 to Warren County because they're not paying their fair share with this agreement. And we prefer to go back to the original agreement. We think that's more fair for both counties. And so we did not sign, the council voted not to sign the agreement that Warren County Council Commissioners and Fountain County Commissioners signed a month ago. That's where we stand, because we don't think the taxpayers of Fountain County should be subsidizing the taxpayers of Warren County. We all ought to be paying our fair share. I mean, it is a bargain for the taxpayers to have Fountain and Warren County together, because if we didn't, we'd have to have the same number of staff and we'd be paying the whole amount ourselves, so it is a bargain for both counties to sharing the cost, but we don't like the interlocal agreement. We don't know why a year ago they decided to change. There's where we stand. And if there was no discussion this morning, I don't know where else we're going.
Should I contact auditor and Warren County to let her know that you guys are?
That I do, yeah. I mean, that CAD system was how many thousands of dollars?
230 years.
Warren County should be paying the half of it. So
And you know, it can go up every year.
that's exactly
They like
right.
it. You know, this year, you know, the Equator, which is our recording, every time, you know, like, he's up on the radio, or we hit that button, I don't know where an emergency is starting recording. So the contract goes up, so it's a 10-year, and then we had an extra fee, which I found the money in to pay for that, and that's going up another $1,500. Everything goes up, so, you know, it's just how life is, you know.
And medical bills, we don't, you know what? We could have a high price expense for an employee in medical bills, and Warren County is not gonna have to pay a third of that expense, because they're paying just flat fees.
And the medical bills comes from being self-funded, is that correct?
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't know where else we go, for discussion on that. Colleen will get a hold of, Robin at Warren County, and, I will contact, Ethan, yeah, I'll call Ethan tomorrow. Our thoughts on that. I mean, they were upset a year ago when we changed it to flat fee. They thought they were being cheated. Well, now that we've added up the costs, they're getting the bargain, so.
I wonder if we presented everything to them and say, you know, this is the actual cost, and this is what was agreed upon. How do you feel about that? They may say, well, that's ridiculous. We owe you $50,000. We want to make it right. Then in the end, they may not.
That's right. So they told us we owe them.
Come on, I'm like Carol Freeze. I want to be like Pollyanna.
Try and be nice.
I want it all to be copacetic.
Does anybody have any idea now, well, Warren County is all financial? Is there a possibility they're gonna quit?
A few years ago, there was a commissioner there that wanted to split with us from 911, and I said, you know, you look at the figures and you'll change your mind, and when he left the figures, he said, yeah, you're right, we can't do it. I mean, why would they want to spend that kind of money? Yeah,
I thought last year when they first started this discussion, if we did split, they were looking to go with Benton County or something because they knew they couldn't do it on their own. I remember that talk now.
they did talk.
Yeah, so-
They were upset that we were going to a
Yeah.
flat rate instead of.
Well, originally it all started because our commissioners wanted 50-50 on everything. And
Yes.
Warren County
Yes.
said, no, that wasn't fair with the population and calls and all that. So that's when the flat fee came into.
You know, they also want more control.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They wanted more people on the board.
Fountain County wanted more people on the
Yeah.
board.
Which, I can see that.
If they were
I mean,
paying
if we're
more,
paying
yeah.
2/3 of the bill, we should have 2/3 of the 911 forward.
Mm-hmm.
That's my personal. You know, I don't know how much money how many millions they got from the windmills. I mean, I know They got a lot of money from that, but I think they put in $4 million in the broadband.
Yep.
In Warren County, so, but they used windmill money. Okay, Aaron, you got any other thing you want to discuss?
I do not. No.
I appreciate you working with the council, you're notifying us of things and keeping us informed, and I have to say we got good communication with you, and we appreciate that, so. Yes.
The comprehensive plan, where was it at?
It's back to the plan commission, I think, to,
The
Do their-
commission is not voted to pass it on.
right, right.
No,
It's still.
I think they're working on it.
your guess is what it's on.
It has to be re-advertised, Carol. Colleen says it has to be re-advertised. And I don't know, they have more hearings.
So that $45,000 we paid them, we're gonna have to pay more then?
So, no, I think that was. Was the flat fee that,
It's never been voted on, but if there's been such a law, from what I understand, we have to re-advertise. I talked a little bit with Campbell White last week. And that was, he sent the revised plan out to all the members. And that's what he was explaining to me, that they said it had to be re-advertised. Be long as a medical.
We're not confusing comprehensive with the
Master.
plan.
The problem is, the plan is with the plan.
How's the planning commission look at the revision?
I haven't,
And discuss?
I don't know which revision I've seen, there's been more than one revision, so I don't know which one we're exactly talking about. So, did he send one, Campbell send one out? Okay, I'll have to go on like government,
Friday, Thursday or Friday.
I'll have to go on my government email.
Yeah.
so, do you have anything?
I do not.
Okay, public have any other comment you want to make?
I'd like to say that in 2026, Mountain County will be celebrating their 200th birthday. And I hope we get this all cleared up before we have our party.
And Carol was in here to start.
Carol, why don't you give us an update on the Cades Bridge?
Cage Hill Bridge,
Yeah.
they started reconstruction today.
Oh, yay.
SSRG is down there and they will be working, 3 12-hour days and then an 8-hour day. They're staying in Crawfordsville. And they've got a huge dog, like, nice, are you afraid to be over here? You know, it's a gigantic dog. Nice bridge they work.
Do you have a pen with you?
Yeah.
Okay, mark this down, your share of the tax. For those who don't know, we put on a 0.005 tax on the Cume Bridge to help pay for the 3 covered bridges as they need repair. So in May, it took in $34,497.19. So you can add that to.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I just got something to say. If you're so inclined to donate to Carol for the celebration in 26, she would be happy to take your money. Otherwise, when we have these night meetings, she's gonna be serving lemon shake-ups and popcorn on the courthouse lawn.
Everybody knows that this is the oldest covered bridge. It's the oldest covered bridge in the state of Indiana. It's on its original site. It's really worthy of saving.
Yeah, sure is.
Thank you.
Okay, and council, have anything else? I appreciate you taking your time and coming here. I wish we could have had a forum of both, but
Thank
we'll
you.
do our best. Thanks for coming. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll beat you.
No.
Awesome.
Okay.
Oh, two.
Al made a motion.
Buzzing in.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.